He is a founding member of the Chandigarh Literary Society and organizes the annual All India J.P. Atray Memorial Cricket Tournament, keeping with his sporting side as he has been a former national level cricketer himself.
Respected Mrs. Likhari, Gautam Khanna, and members of Sajoba, faculty and students, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, to start with, that one day long ago, I used to be sitting with you. Not with you, but there where you were seated. And one of my first memories of school, or one of the long-lasting memories, is of Brother Murray, who used to teach us. And Brother Murray was a very fastidious kind of teacher, very particular about the nuances of the language of English, very meticulous with his teaching. He would write on the blackboard with a chalk, sentence after sentence, with a handwriting that I think is impossible to attain with a chalk. It was so beautiful. And one day I'm sitting there and he says, all of us are sitting there, and I was just, as eager, wide-eyed as you guys are. And he says, something, something, something is in the, and he wanted a word from us. He said, in the, it begins with an O. So I said, offing, without raising my hand. Offing. And he said, good boy. Until today, when I sit down to write, or I get up to speak, that is one of the abiding memories of my life that inspired me. That one sentence, that two words from him, good boy. So something somewhere stays with you. One moment of your life that inspires you forever. There may be more, there may be 10 such moments. But this is one of them for me. So let me say at the outset that I'm very happy to be here and have spoken before at St. John's. It's not the first time I'm doing this, and I guess it's not the last. But I'm really enthused by the group of people I see before me, because this is the kind of gathering which I'm very fond of speaking to. And my advice to you, I know at your age it's sometimes difficult to appreciate advice because you feel very strongly about certain things. But my advice to you is to pick up one or two nuggets from today. One or two, that's good enough. I'll have about 10 points for you, broadly. I'm going to speak for about half an hour, and then we'll have some interaction. That should be okay? Okay, so I'm going to talk about life. I'm not going to talk about careers as such. I'm going to talk about careers too. I'm going to talk about broader aspects of life. This is a leadership series. It is the purpose of this series, which has been started by the Sajoba president and his team, is to inspire. And inspiration is something which will stay with you forever. Information is not important as inspiration is. Information you can get from anywhere. So I'm not going to tell you how you become an IAS officer, how you become an engineer, or how you become an MBA graduate, how you get admission into some place. That someone else will do some other day, or you can find out for yourselves. I'm going to tell you about life skills and leadership skills. So the skills that I'm going to enumerate here are as valid for any human being as they are for a leader. And incidentally, without sounding too pompous, I hope, there's a talk on leadership which recently has been uploaded on YouTube. So you can search that. It's a 25-minute video, and it is on leadership by example. A talk delivered recently at Next Solution. I think Shivam was there. Could you make it? No, you were there. Right. What your name? Siddharth, you were there, yes. And that talk will give you a few nuggets which I may not be listing out here today. So the first thing I'm going to advise you guys is to be positive in life. Don't take it lightly. Positivity. Positivity in any given situation will always result in the desired results. There are many kinds of people on this earth. There's a film called The Good, Bad and the Ugly, which I always like to quote, which is an old one, you wouldn't have heard of it much. But in that, the character Tuco, he says there are two kinds of people in this world. Those that come through the door and those that come through the window. But that is something else. There are many kinds of people in this world. So all of you are not going to react the same way to a given situation. You agree with that? Supposing there's a situation right now, there's a rumor that there's an earthquake or there's a tiger on the prowl outside in the grounds or something. Most of us are going to be scared. Most of us are going to be negative. Most of us are going to worry. But some are going to be more positive about it. So there's a varying degree of positivity in human beings. You have to be the one who is more positive than most. Because that's going to help you. And do you think there's a life that is led on this earth that is totally smooth? Is there anyone in this world who has had no hiccups in life? No. Not even Gandhiji, or Gandhiji faced maximum number of problems. Not even Mr. Modi. No one has a smooth sailing. Not even Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli. No one has smooth sailing. Life is full of bumps, ups and downs. So therefore that positive frame of mind is going to help you. Have you ever traveled by, you must have traveled by everything, but if you travel by the Shatabdi to Delhi, you learn about humanity. There's always someone in the compartment who will be cribbing all the time. He's saying, oh, kuch nahi hota. He'll be shouting at the waiter. He'll be saying, oh, the government is so bad. The industry is doing nothing. The country is going to the dogs. There will always be someone like that. There won't be more than one or two, but there will be one or two. So that is an example to not follow. It's very easy to criticize. Very simple to criticize others. Very difficult to praise them. If you're spreading cheer and positivity, you will be loved, liked, and successful. Do you know Sudha Murthy? Narayan Murthy's wife. So when she was not married yet, she used to work for the Tatas. And Mr. J.R.D. Tata was the chairman of Tatas. So she was standing outside the Tata's building in Bombay, waiting for a car to pick her up. At about 6 in the evening, and it was getting dark. The sun used to set early like it does these days. And she was a little timid, scared also, worried the car wasn't coming. And Mr. Tata happened to come at that time to leave for home. He found this wisp of a girl, clad in his sari, standing there. So he comes and says, what are you doing here, young lady? And Sudha Murthy now writes, she's an author now. So she writes of this incident and says that Mr. Tata stood with me for 15 to 20 minutes waiting for my car with me. Till the car came, he didn't leave. He said, I'm going to stand here till your vehicle comes. The chairman of Tata's. And she was not Mrs. Narayan Murthy at that time, someone important. She was just Sudha Murthy, anyone. So that kind of positive leadership that Mr. Tata gave over there, he exemplified, comes from within. That nature of being positive, I'm talking about life here, comes from within. You can't be positive at 9 a.m. and then at 5 p.m. you'll be negative. No. Either you're a positive guy or a negative guy, or you have shades of grey, which is fine. You can be human. You can be positive at times, negative at times. But basically, you have to be a positive guy. The other thing which I'd like to tell you, second point, calmness. Now this is a little heavy, but it's important. That's why I'm telling you this. Calmness is something which is required to fight the battle of life. When you take a decision, and all of us take decisions every day. When you're driving a scooter or a car, you take a decision. Do I turn left now? Do I accelerate now? Do I stop at the red light, or am I going to be able to pass? It's a decision. When you're batting, you play cricket? Some of you. Or when you're playing tennis or football or whatever, you take decisions all the time. Front foot, back foot, ball keeping low, South Africa all out for 79. Gavaskar says that they should keep low and smell the leather, bend low and play. I used to be an under 19 cricketer. So we have to take decisions all the time. So when you take decisions, you can take them in two ways, with a ruffled mind or a calm mind. A calm mind will take the right decision. A ruffled mind may not. So if you're in stress and you take a decision which is important for you, you may take the wrong one. Calmness in the face of adversity is how you lead your life. And it's not difficult. Sometimes the problem may appear to be very big, but today's problem of yours that you may have, maybe you didn't do well in a test, next week you may forget about it. So that problem wasn't as important as you thought at that time. Calmness will help you. Another quality, next point, a sense of humor, cheerfulness. There are always those who will be excessively exuberant, which is not really great, but you can be. But there are those who are generally cheerful. You know, patting someone on the back, going ahead and you talk to maybe the sweeper on the road. How are you? Bhaiya, sab theek hai? You know, just generally cheerful. You know, when a boy and a girl are dating, I know you like to talk about this. So I used to like it, I still like it actually. When a boy and a girl are dating, what should the girl look for in the boy? Think of the girl. She should look at many things, right? But one of the things is, when you go out in a restaurant, how does the boy talk to the waiter? He's all sweet and honey and sugar with the girl, but he's vitriolic with the waiter. Or he's spewing venom, or he's kind of ready to flare up, showing his kind of aggro. Is that a good trait? No. So where is that cheerfulness? Where is that calmness? Where is that empathy with the other guy? In the long run, and even in the short run, my friend, never show that kind of trait. It doesn't work, that bullying type of trait, especially with the underprivileged. It's always good to give him a pat, say, well done. If he spills something on your pants, you can be upset. The waiter, you're all dressed up for your girl, and he spills something and, your shirt is dirty or something. You can be upset for a minute, but he didn't do it on purpose, I'm sure. Unless he's vying for the same girl with you. Then perseverance. Perseverance. Do you know Edmund Hillary conquered Mount Everest, right? Have you heard what he said? His quote? His quote was, I didn't conquer Mount Everest, I conquered myself. I conquered my inner mind. Because he persevered. Our mind can be vacillating. It can be oscillating. It can go from one to the other. It can be positive, negative. We can have fears. We are human. We can have worries. But if you conquer that fear within, if you have that fearlessness at times, if you have resilience, there are always difficult moments in a path. Do you think Edmund Hillary or anyone who conquers Mount Everest has a smooth sailing again? They have a tough time. Which player wins a 5-set tennis match? Who wins it? The one of the two. If they're playing 5 sets, they are roughly evenly matched, right? Otherwise it will be 6-love, 6-love, 6-love. 3 sets, done. If they're playing a 5-setter, they're evenly matched. Who wins? The guy who is more resilient. And sometimes there are other factors, of course. Roger Federer at 34 is not as fit as he was at 24. So playing a 5-setter tells. Djokovic is banging them down, right? But resilience, never say die. That is an attitude to have. So out of you, let's say there are maybe 150 of you here. If all of you are to race with each other in life, everyone can't come first. Who comes first? Who comes second? Who tops? In life is not the one who topped in school. Let me say that. Not necessarily. Resilience, perseverance. The one who says, never say die. he wins. Another quality which will come in handy, the ability to be innovative. Innovation. You heard some good things about me. I'm sick and tired of hearing them, by the way. I need to do some new things now. Because I've heard this CV of mine a few times over the past few years. I need to innovate at any stage of life. You need to innovate throughout your life. There's no point, supposing you get into chemical engineering, not a very creative field in my view, but I mean, I'm all for chemical engineers. The chemical engineer cannot just go by rote, R-O-T-E. He can't just go on, doing the same thing that people have been doing forever. Somewhere down the line, he has to think, I'm going to do something afresh, something different. A tennis player who doesn't have the lob has to add the lob to his repertoire. Or an actor, say Shah Rukh Khan, he used to be very different earlier. He couldn't speak well, very jumpy, speaks better now. So he's innovative, he's matured. But innovation is something which you cannot give up in life. A leader who's leading a team of 10, do you think they will be inspired if he does the same thing every day? He gets to office at 9, calls them at 9:05, shouts at them. 1 p.m. he calls them again and shouts at them again. 5 p.m. he's in a worry, in a dizzy. That's not the sort of leader they look up to. Have you heard of Jeff Bezos? Founder of Amazon. Now Jeff Bezos compulsorily circulates a note in every meeting and says that for the first 10 minutes of the meeting, everyone read this note. So the meeting doesn't start for the first 10 minutes. He says everyone read this note, so they're all sitting and reading it. And when you're sitting with Jeff Bezos, who's the boss, you can't be, playing something on Facebook or WhatsApp. You have to read the note. So you're reading and you get the gist of it. So he's an innovative leader. He knows that people don't read. He knows that his team will not be clued up on what he wants them to be clued up on as much as he wants. He knows that people are in a hurry after breakfast, they're rushing to office, reading in the car or whatever, if they've been driven. So he wants them to read. So that's his style of doing things. He's innovative. He has everyone on the same page, literally, at the end of that 10 minutes. So he has motivated them or whatever to work, to understand. Then a very similar word to innovation, but a little different, a little innovative, is creativity. Creativity. You see, being creative is something more than being innovative. Creativity involves more of the faculty of the arts, writing, music, sports, photography. I'm sure many of you love these kind of things. They are what life is about. Life is unfortunately not about your career. Some of you are going to select a career, let's say you go to the police, some of you become lawyers, some of you become engineers, even go to hospitality. That career is not your life. If you got 97% marks in class 12, that's not your life. Don't be under pressure to get those marks and make a career. That's not only life. So one bit of advice in the middle I'm giving you is that at the stage at which you are, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, some 12th. So I would advise you to realize that life is not only about those marks which you are getting. Even now at this stage, do your best. Do your best in your given field. Be focused, be perfect. You have to be. I'm not saying don't. But it is not what life is about alone. You have to have something creative. You have to have a family. India is very strong in family. We can't belittle it. Our family is the reason why India is still together. The family system. So all these things have to be part of life. It's not only going to be career and marks. and performance and targets and revenue. This is not all. So being creative means being an all-rounder. Now I have a talk, I have a TEDx talk. Do you watch TED.com? Some of you watch TED.com. TED.com has 18-minute video. 18 minutes. On any subject that you like. From Richard Branson to Zaza Gabor, you will find everyone. Alright? So you'll also find Vivek Atray. Because I have a talk on being an all-rounder in life. And being an all-rounder in life involves being open to change throughout your life. Doing new things all the time. Not getting into a rut. So being an all-rounder means being ambidextrous in many ways. And just being a life all-rounder. Which means you are as interested in food as you are in scientific analysis of something. So you're an all-rounder. That is something which unidimensional people lack. Being multi-dimensional. You don't have to know everything about everything, but know a little bit about everything. Or as much as you can. Be very perfect in your own area. It could be corporate law. Corporate law is something which you know so well. Yet, you know a little bit about music. You know a little bit about badminton. Something different. The next point, which is extremely, extremely important. But before that, how did I get into writing? Some of you, I'm sure, write. Poetry, prose. Many people write secretly. You know, they write something but they don't want to share it. I write to share. I am not inhibited by anybody. What will he think, she think, I don't care. When you write something, I think after a certain level you should share it. On a blog, or be published if you can, on a newspaper. I started out by sending one middle is a short piece on the edit page, a middle. So I started sending middles to the Tribune some years ago, and they started accepting them. I started getting published. It wasn't that difficult. You write basically well, you're okay. So writing is something which gives you that expression, which gives you that satisfaction, which other outlets do not. So even if you don't plan to become a writer or a published author, write something every day or every week or every weekend. Whatever comes to your heart. People used to write diaries earlier. You know the saying, Gautam, is that in previous years, people used to write a diary and hide it under the pillow or in the cupboard. And today they write their diary on Facebook and want everyone to read it. They just want everyone to read what their thoughts are. So write. Very important to write. You know, Ruskin Bond, I went to meet him in Missouri once with my family. And Ruskin Bond was very cheerful, bouncy. But somewhere down the line he said, you know, the day I don't write, I become very grumpy, and today I haven't written, you know. I said, but you're not grumpy, you're okay. I mean, you look cheerful. He said, yeah, I wrote one line in the morning. So even that one line gave him some satisfaction. You know, that creativity came from somewhere and he wrote it. So that is something which gives more satisfaction than most things. Seeing the bigger picture is the next point. Seeing the bigger picture. Right now you're in a situation. You're in a problem. Tire puncture, getting late for school, breakfast not ready, whatever. Can't find your socks. Happens, no? Happens to everyone. So, that is the situation at that time which is bothering you. You're caught up in that. But these little situations of life are little situations. We can't let them get to us. Losing your temper, by the way, is a very cowardly negative trait. Losing your temper is not a good trait to have in life. I don't think leaders especially can afford to lose temper. Leadership, you know, I am an administrator, so I have to offer leadership to people, and people react differently to leadership, to different kinds of leadership. So if I have someone who's already thinking too much of himself, you know, he's like the cat's whiskers, he thinks I'm great, he's my subordinate. So I need to be a little firm with him to keep him down to the earth. But I don't need to lose my temper at it. I can be firm. I can say that, you weren't very good with your work yesterday. This time I want this to be done by 5 o'clock tomorrow. And I want you to come and show it to me. That's good enough. That's firm enough. I'm his boss. He doesn't need shouting. Shouting is not a good trait. And there's someone else who's timid, by the way, who needs a pat on the back. He doesn't think too much of himself. He's a good worker, but he's very shy, very introvertish. So he needs to be encouraged. So you have to, as a leader, see these nuances. He doesn't need to be shouted upon at all. He's already, very timid and very, very scared. So you need to buck him up all the time. So this seeing the bigger picture is something which will come from experience. You cannot be bogged down by situations, lose your temper. And you can't say that, okay, this is really a bad day. By the way, people who say that today is a really bad day. No, it doesn't work. At the end of the day, there may be something which you never expected to happen, maybe the best thing that ever happened in your life. So bad days come. Bad moments come and go. Bad moments come and go. And there's a spiritual thing which again is a little heavy, but this moment is what matters. This moment, the present moment, is what really matters. Live it fully. Don't keep on thinking of the future. The future will take care of itself. But work towards it. The next point I'm going to tell you is balance. Balance. What is balance? You've seen Tendulkar batting? Perfect balance. Even today when he played his Masters tournament in the US or something. Perfect balance. Left foot, right foot, weight on the ball, Balance in life. What is balance? Don't eat too much. Sleep enough. This is small things of balance. Eat right, exercise right, sleep sufficiently, look after your health. This is balance. Then being calm, unruffled, methodical is balance. Not getting too much into one thing, looking at other things also is balance. Not watching too much television or too much internet. I was at the Chandigarh Lit Fest recently. I'm a founder of the Chandigarh Literary Society, as was mentioned. And I was on the panel with Gulpanag and Sandeep Roy called Virtually Yours. Virtually Yours. So this virtually yours means that we live virtual lives. We know people only on WhatsApp or Facebook, we don't know them outside. So we need to control the use of technology. We need to control the amount of time we spend on our phones or on our computers. What is technology? I am a technology guy. What is technology? It is a facilitator. It is an enabler. It should not become our master. How much time are you going to spend on your gadgets in your life? Are you going to spend too much time? It becomes an obsession, an addiction. Get out of that. Control your gadgets instead of letting them control you. You need to get out of that cocoon at times. Limit your time. Balance your life. Go out and smell the roses, as they say. Have a look at the breeze. Sit thinking about life, love, whatever you want to. Good to sit calmly for a while and do nothing. Like just now you're doing nothing, but you're listening, hopefully. Then, I'm coming to the close of my talk, then we'll have an interaction. Inspiration. I mentioned it in the beginning. The most vital thing I'm going to say to you today is to always be inspired. When you get up in the morning, whether you're 8 years old or 80 years old, you need to have something to look forward to. You have to have something to look forward to. Something has to inspire you. Even in this very materialistic 2015, we have to have something that inspires or someone that inspires. It could be a personality. It could be a person as ancient or as old as Mother Teresa. Or it could be someone just down the road. I wrote a medal called the Golgappa Man. Have you heard of the Golgappa Man? He stands somewhere near Saint Kabir. I'm sure you go there and stop there sometimes, though your mom told you not to. So that Golgappa man inspires me. Why? Because he stands there with a dilapidated looking jar of dirty water. My mother wouldn't have let me stop there and have Golgappa. But he stands there, he has customers, and he sells Golgappas, and his smile is the broadest smile I've seen. He's happy. He inspires me. With no hope in hell of ever owning a car, he is happy. So riches, fame, these things don't matter to him. You can see the guy. He has something in him which inspires me. So you can get that inspiration from anywhere. It could be a book, it could be a show you watched, it could be a play, it could be a talk you heard, it could be a game you played. Sports. Sports is something which will give you inspiration most easily. Just go to YouTube and watch the greatest ever matches, greatest ever athletic feats. Just watch Bolt running. How many seconds? 9 seconds or something. Watch him running. How much are you going to be inspired if you're feeling dull? Just watch him for 9 seconds. Get some inspiration from somewhere and have that inspiration throughout your life. It could be Amitabh Bachchan or it could be Ranbir Kapoor, I don't care. Whoever it is. Someone has to inspire you. Something has to inspire you. You yourself have to inspire yourself. Your father can be your inspiration. Your mom can be your inspiration. Your grandfather can be. A friend can be. A senior can be. But that inspiration has to be there in your life. I have 2 books which I have written, which are not really the sort that the kind of thing that I'm saying here. They are quite comical actually. They're funny and they are not about life, they're about people. But if you want to read them, you can. One is called Dubeji Bounces Back. There's a young guy called Raghav Dubey who bounces back in life. And the other is called Move On Bunny, which is Bunny Kapoor. If you search Vivek Atray on YouTube or on Google, you'll find me. You'll find some books and you'll find some talks. So if you haven't had enough of me today and you feel like watching me again, you can go to YouTube and find me. There are some talks of mine on various subjects. That also you can do. So I'd like to thank you for listening patiently. I've never seen so many very energetic young boys sitting quietly for so long. Thank you very much. And now since the talk is over, we will spend a little while on an interaction. A mic is available, I believe. So you'll have to raise your hand and ask your question of me. And let me be very, very bold and say that you can ask me anything. You can ask me anything from the IAS to leadership to cricket to being funny to anything like. But don't ask me about dating. That I'm not going to tell you. The first question should get the biggest prize because the one who asks the first question is very bold and confident. It's working. No, it's not.
Good morning, sir. My question is that how do you think we should face the pressure of the competitive exams and extreme competition?
Yeah. So this is a question which assails every young man and woman and has been faced by all of us who got till here. So a competitive exam of any kind, whether it's the IAS exam or engineering or school or whatever, there are 2 things to it. There are you and your course or whatever you're studying, and then there are competitors. Can you do anything about the competitors? No. You can't go to their houses and snatch away their books and hide them so that they can't study. You can't do that. In Bhag Milkha Bhag, the guys tried to do something with Milkha Singh's shoes or something, right? But you can't do that. So what can you do? You can work harder. You can be confident of yourself and let everyone else be damned. So competitive exams, pressure will be there. Don't think about failure. think that you're going to succeed. Go there with that vision. Work hard. If you do not succeed, we'll handle it. You'll handle it, I'm telling you. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that can't be handled. But think that you're going to succeed and just go for it. And don't be under pressure from peers. Sometimes even our parents put pressure on us. I'm a parent. Parents put unnecessary pressure at times. And you be calm. They want your good. It's not that they want to put pressure on you. They think good of you. They want you to succeed. Sometimes they put pressure. Be calm. Be simple. And peers. Don't be scared of what your peers are going to say. This is one thing, another thing I'll tell you in life. Don't bother about what people are going to think. It's a very important tip I'm giving you. Don't be worried too much about what are people going to think if I get less marks, or if I don't do well, or if I trip, or whatever. Don't bother. Next question.
Good morning, sir. Sir, everybody has problems in his life. I'm experiencing some, you might have experienced some. So, sir, what are your skills or what experiences help you to overcome those situations in your life?
Right. What's your name?
Sir, Piyush.
Yeah, and the gentleman there who asked the first question? Sorry? Yeah, you need to say your name before
So his name is Ainish.
Yeah, I got it. So, Piyush, the thing is that, as I said, all of us face problems. Have you seen the Ambani Sion who's on TV? Their son, Mukesh Ambani's son, in the IPL matches? 200 kgs? Do you think he doesn't have problems?
Yes, sir, he does have.
He does. He has more money than anyone in the world, almost. He has problems. There's no one in the world who doesn't have problems. There are two types of people. Those who get defeated by the problems and those who don't. Problems will come. You have to know that you will live beyond that problem, you will flourish beyond the problem will go away. The most serious problems of life also go away. Until you're alive, problems will go. They won't stay forever. Know that. That's the only way. There may be, as I said, a small problem like you can't find your hanky, or it could be someone has fled and you can't find your brother or something. You know, they're small and big situations. Calmness and knowing that it will be over. It will be over. Just be confident.
Thanks.
Someone at the back was raising a hand. Yeah. Last row. I like the last row a lot.
Good morning, sir.
I like the first row. Yeah, morning. Your name?
I'm Lakshit.
Dakshit.
How do you, in 9th class and 10th, how do you manage equally between studies and sports?
In 9th and 10th?
Yeah.
Okay, in any class, sports is vital. I was a sportsman, I still play tennis, and I feel that you should devote time every day to sports, even if you have a board exam. Spend 20 minutes working out, 30 minutes doing something, or 1 hour when you don't have an exam. Because sports will give you that freshness, that that energy, that vitality which you need. Balance your sports and studies by dedicating a timetable for yourself. That this is the time slot I'm going to follow. This time to this time I have to study. You can't do one or the other. And if you're too tired after playing, then you won't be able to study. So maybe it's a good idea to study early morning, play in the evening, or play in the morning and study in the evening when you have your rest in the day. So balance your life in that way. Do not give up sports. I didn't give it up even during my board exam. I used to play. I used to play a little bit every day. Even if you play a little bit with your kid, sister or brother, it's okay. Keep playing. You know, Fadal Singh started running at the age of 80 something. I met him at ISB Mohali. He's 100 and something. And he runs. He didn't give up sports and he's 100, so there must be something.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
So my question is
What's your name?
Gulbandi.
Sorry?
Gulbandi.
Good one.
So we're talking about life, and life is basically interaction with different sorts of people.
So at some point of time, it's difficult to handle particular personalities or something. We feel difficult to talk to people who are opposing us or something like that. So what do we do in such situations? How do we tackle those people?
Very good question. Life is about interactions. You absolutely get it on the nail. What happens is that you can either be a people's person or you can be an introverted kind of person. If you are an interactive kind of person, you'll do better in life. You meet different kinds of people. So do you have it in you to talk to someone who's come from Finland as well as talk to someone who's your Mali? Different kinds of people. So do you have that wide kind of vision to be able to talk to both kinds? Number one. Number two, when some people are difficult or argumentative, as you said, try and understand their point of view. They must have some point of view, which is against yours, maybe. But there's some reason why he's arguing with you, or he's after you all the time, or she's after you. So you have to see their point of view. Maybe at night, think about it before sleeping, or just think, why does this guy or this person always argue, fight? There are those abrasive kinds of people. Maybe they have some insecurity. Or maybe they have an opinion which you don't agree with. That's why they're after you all the time. And there are some people who need encouragement, as I said earlier. So there are different sorts. So if there's someone who's very abrasive and keeps fighting with you or something, it's better to mentally forgive him. Maybe he's got a problem. Sympathize with him. The guy is obnoxious. It's his problem. Why should I be waking up at night thinking, why did he say that to me? Forget it. Forgive him. Any other? Yeah, then also that.
Good morning, sir.
Fine. Morning, where are you? Okay.
So my name is Dhruv.
Okay, that's easy.
My question is, my parents always compare me with other people who are more successful than me. How should I handle them?
I am very, very happy that you asked me this question, because it's difficult to ask this question, and most people feel this way. Most children feel this way. Their parents often compare them with others and are tough on them. So you're not the only one. Everyone's parents do that. You're always saying, "Dekho, wo kitna acha hai, wo kya kar raha hai, tum kya kar rahe ho," this sort of thing. So my point to you is that what do they want? What is the aim of the parents? They want you to do well. They want you to be happy. That is basically what they want. They may not be doing it the right way at times by comparing it too often, you too often with others. So take it with a pinch of salt. Don't get too bogged down by that comparison. Be yourself. You are the only one who's you. You have a face, you have a personality which no one in the world has, because you're you, you're unique. So be unique, have some traits of your own which are good, and some traits which obviously you can't have. So be good at what you are good at, be better. Maybe you are better than that person who you're being compared to in other things. Right? Maybe your handwriting is better than him, and he's good at cricket. So it doesn't matter. Everyone can't be the same. But just try and understand that your parents actually want the best from you. Have that in mind and you'll do that. I should be okay, next.
Good morning, sir. My name is Anish. So I wanted to ask that what is the ultimate goal of life?
Keep the mic a little away. Okay, but I got your question. What is the ultimate goal of life? Okay, that's a very, very good question. The best question of the day. What is the ultimate goal of life? Tell me. Does anyone want to be sad in life? Does anyone want sadness in life? No. What is the opposite of sadness? Happiness. So the ultimate goal of life is happiness. There is no way that you're going to get happiness out of cringing, cribbing, being negative. So the ultimate goal of life is to be happy with whatever you have. You can aspire for fame. You can aspire to be in position, power, money. You can aspire for anything. But ultimately, who's a happy person? Like the Golgappa man? Be happy with your lot. Aspire, work, aim, have ambitions. Try and get there. But ultimately, who's happy? The guy who's happy with his lot, who has an attitude of gratitude. So what is the aim of life? To be happy with what we have. Yeah, on the right. Okay.
Good morning, sir. So my name is Udavi. So actually I wanted to ask that as you said, many people work under you. So you must be taking many interviews also. So what's the first thing you look to a person while you're taking an interview?
Okay. See, it's a combination of things. The first thing you look at is the confidence, the personality, the straightforwardness. These are the first 2-3 things you look at. If someone is fibbing, lying, you can make out very easily. Is someone looking at you in the eye, or is looking here and there while talking to you? That's something. Handshake. Is a handshake firm or is it loose? A handshake is very important. Then a smile for 2. And then after the interview has progressed a while, you get to know more traits of the person. Whether he is, the criticizing sort, escapist sort, excuses are coming from him. Or is he someone who's sincere, dedicated, will be hardworking? You can make out. And after years of experience, I can make you out very easily. So it becomes very good, and you're good there.
Excuse me, sir.
Last question, I think. 9:59, so last question.
Sir, I'm Nikhil.
Yeah, Nikhil.
Sir, there are many people who bring you down in life with their misdeeds and fill your life with negativity.
Mic a little away, a little away.
There are many people.
The mic is like a girlfriend, just keep it a little away.
Okay, sir. Sir, there are many people in life who bring you down.
Yeah.
And with their misdeeds and fill negativity in your life. So how should one deal with those type of people?
It's best to stay away from such people. But if they are a part of your life, then it's best to mentally forgive them. The Bible says, and I shouldn't be quoting scriptures here, but the Bible says, forgive someone 70 times 7, which is 490. I'm sure you know that. 490 times you forgive someone. It's just a matter of thinking. So that means that if you do not forgive someone who's suffering, you are suffering. That person who is obnoxious is not suffering. So in your mind, if you forgive them, you'll feel much better and lighter. That burden will go. Let them be what they are. You be yourself. Try and change them by your example. Don't try and change them by telling them to change. No one changes if you tell him to change. By example, if you are yourself, they'll change. Thank you very much.